giving you the secret mantra. Constant manana. That I am that divine being. It doesn't have to be spoken. You don't have to chant like a parrot. You have to feel it. Bhava. Thought plus emotion is bhava. And that is like an arrow which will hit the target. So, has my arrow hit the target? Yes, everybody? Yeah? Come on, why are you shy? Almost. Okay. So, therefore, the first question is comes from you. What's your question?
Yeah.
How can we make this almost into a certainty?
Yeah, I have a small doubt.
Yep.
Whether rituals and sadhana relate with each other?
Okay.
I'm a little confused in that.
All
When
right.
you are doing a sadhana, the obstacles of some rituals comes in between.
Mm-hmm.
How should I respond to that?
Good. Very good question. Rituals. You see, what is a ritual? Let's understand that. My way of looking at everything is I always go back and try, like we said, what is sadhana? The whole discussion yesterday started with the whole concept of what sadhana is, and slowly we have been building it up. What is a ritual? Ritual is something that we are doing routinely, right? That is a ritual. But all rituals that were handed down to us by our ancestors, by our elders, they had some scientific, systematic, and a profound meaning behind them, right? But what happened while the practice was handed over to us, that knowledge, that understanding was not handed down. Right? So, what we acquired was the act, and what we did not acquire is what is behind the act. What we acquired is the unreal, and the real never was transferred to us. That's our tragedy. So, you have two choices. You either understand the real behind the ritual, and suddenly this ritual can become part of your sadhana. Yeah? Or let go of this ritual and believe in the sadhana you want to do. Because to me, it's as clear as that. As long as my goal is clear, I am like that Arjuna. Right? That's all that matters to me. Which way it comes, it doesn't matter. My arrow is going to hit the eye of the bird. I'm not I'm not bothered whether Dronacharya told me to do it like this or somebody else, Eklavya did something else. I'm very clear. If this ritual can become and be integrated as part of my sadhana, because now I understand that it is aiding my sadhana, because I understand the real behind it, the spirit behind it, then please continue to do it. And if you think that even that does not make sense to you, then don't take a second to drop it. Because nothing can come in the way of me and my lover. Does that answer?
Yes.
So, will it take you closer to where you want to go?
Yes. I can clear that.
Lovely.
Yes.
Yes?
In India, Aryan and the Dravidian types of worship patterns are there. And one is little harmful, other is so pure. And which one will lead us in that path first?
See, again, this division and subdivisions and castes, this way of doing, that way of doing, is where we've got trapped. Right? You have to leave each of those thoughts that there is, for example, to my mind, there is nothing good or bad that the world ever created. Okay? It is man who created good and bad. God just created this whole world as an image of itself. It is our mind which starts to say good, bad, and all the time we are just trapped in that. When you are in consciousness, as I said, consciousness knows everything. This entire 2 days, whatever I am speaking, it's just coming from there. And we just become instruments and mediums for it to flow through. Right? So, where is the question of this is a good way of doing and that's a bad way of doing? You are in.
Violence is coming, that is why I'm
Huh?
killing animals and sacrificing people. Violence is coming.
Forget all that. You talk about your own Atmano Mokshartam. Jagat Hitaya, the whole world will start transforming the minute you are transformed. Our problem is we are stuck into all these things. Somebody is doing this, Y is doing that, Z is doing that, this is happening in this world. Forget it. You've been told, if you agree with it, that your emancipation, your moksha is going to change the whole world. Please go for it. This is again the mind taking us into our own web and we get stuck into all this. Let go. This is not of use to you at all. You decide your path. You do what you want to do and realize yourself. And suddenly you will see everything around you will start changing.
No, that will not change, sir. If we are, I am thinking that this will not happen. But the rituals are happening again and again. We want to see it again. We are common people. We are not reached that stage to.
See, this is the problem. This is what I started this talk with. Before starting, we are not convinced and we don't do this path. That's why we give up before we start. We, the common people, have taken birth to only experience self realization. Please, my brother, forget about everybody else. First, reform yourself. First, experience this taste of love and immortality inside of you. I assure you, I am guaranteeing to you, you want a stamp paper, I can write it for you. And you can take me later on and test me. That once you experience it, not only your problems, but all the problems of people around you will get resolved. That's what I'm saying. My whole talk today was this. You have to believe what your Vedas have told you. You have to believe what your master is telling you every day. That this is the only way where the whole world becomes divine once again. And the only way to find out is to experience it yourself. You know, when I was growing up, there was a good ad on television that I really used to like. It was of a chocolate eclair called Melody. I don't know if any one of you have seen it. So the question used to be, Melody itni chocolate bhari kaise? Why is Melody full of chocolate? So the other person used to say, Melody khao, khud jaan jao. Eat this melody. If you do not eat it, you will not know whether it is as sweet. So what happens? This is the trap of the mind. The mind keeps debating. The mind keeps arguing. Oh, but this is happening, that is happening, this is good, this is bad. And we never take a single step forward. And we remain exactly where we are. So, the only way to find out what I am saying is truth, what Baba is saying is truth, what Sadhguru Madhusudan Sai is saying is truth, what the Upanishads are saying is truth, is only by experiencing it firsthand. I have experienced it and I am experiencing extreme joy, and I feel that wherever I go, I'm able to make a difference. Things start to change. Where Sri Madhusudan Sai Ji goes, everything starts to shift. And this is how the shift and transformation starts to take place. And that is why we are all here. That just imagine this room which is full of sadhakas. When all of you start shifting, your families, your society, and this nation will start to shift. That's why he's taking his children on trips overseas, because he's telling his children, these are the places you are going to shift. Right? So if you believe in it, as I said, if you don't believe in this, then of course we will remain where we are. But if you believe in this and you take up that, okay, forget the world, first I am going to shift myself, then you see. Yeah? And you are not a ordinary person. This is a problem. I am ordinary. I am mortal. I cannot do this. How is it possible? No, it is possible. That's why you are here. Why would you be here at all if you were ordinary? You already have taken 5 steps forward by being here.
I'm talking ordinary means I'm talking about the mass.
No, forget mass. That is, first be selfish. First talk about yourself. You cannot love others unless you love yourself. This is the illusion. This is Maya where we are all trapped. Brother, please listen. You're not listening. You're still coming from the mind. This is the justification of the mind. If you've understood that there is only hope for this world to change is when I transform myself. Are you convinced about it or not? Because if you are not convinced, then nothing can convince you. Are you looking at transforming yourself, or are you looking at solving the problems of the world? Please answer. It's a sadhana camp here.
I have a lot of questions. The others question also in mind. That is why I am approaching you to get a good answer.
Yeah, I'm giving you an answer. I'm asking you a question first. Are you...
Change should be yourself.
Yeah, which for 2 days we have been talking. I am asking you a question. You are in this sadhana camp. Is sadhana personal or is sadhana for the world?
Sadhana is personal, but the question is for what?
No, so hold on. I am saying to experience the answer to that question, you have to first do your sadhana. I just gave an example. Melody khao, khud jaan jao. That I am telling you that when you experience that one consciousness, all the problems of this world will go away. I am telling you. You have to either believe it or not. You have to first take that step. But by thinking about this, what happens? We do not take any step.
Asking question is not taking any step, that I am not accepting. We are taking step, but then also the doubt is there.
The doubt comes from where? From the mind. I am telling you to keep your mind away. This whole journey is to leave the mind and go into the consciousness.
So we can meet afterwards and clarify.
Yeah. Are you understanding that if we continue to remain in our mind, all doubts come from the mind. Mind's job is to take us out of our path. This is Maya. This is the illusion. I told you this is unreal. Everything is unreal. But we are still stuck into it. And the only way to break the shackles of where your thought is, you have to go in. And when you start going inside, your anubhava, you see, you don't have anubhava, the direct experience. It's called prataksha praman. Once you get the experience of what it brings to you, that viveka, when it starts coming to you, this question of yours will automatically get answered. I am just telling you an answer of how to do this. The answer of your problem lies inside and not outside. And the reason we have been looking for it outside is why there are problems in this world. I am just telling you, my dear brother, to change the direction of your thought and go in. And there you will, though your mind doesn't agree right now, but you will find your answer. You have to try it. Okay? If you don't try it, you will continue to have these doubts. Yep.
Kabir is telling in this, ಹಾಲಿನೊಳಗಿದೆ ಬೆಣ್ಣೆ in ಕನ್ನಡ, ಹಾಲಿನೊಳಗಿದೆ ಬೆಣ್ಣೆ, ಬೀಜದೊಳಗಿದೆ ಎಣ್ಣೆ, ನಿನ್ನಯ ದೇವ ನಿನ್ನೊಳಗಿಹನೆ ಕೈಲಾದರೆ ನೋಡೆ. See, inside the milk, butter is there, we don't know. Nut is there, but you don't know oil is there. When you have to do this, then only you come to know this. It's possible you can see. See, when you don't know, when we are practicing, we are be possible.
Yes.
This is God within us, but you have to practice, then only come to know God is there.
Yeah. And God, we say, is omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent. And this God inside of us can resolve all the other issues that we are facing. Yes, Mr. Kabir.
Coming back, ritual and celebration. Is there any close relationship between rituals and celebrations? If there, what is the role of it? Is there any close relationship between rituals and celebrations? If any role is there, if importances are there, what is the role of it?
Celebration, what is a celebration? Again, for me to find answers to any question, I go back and I start breaking the words. What is a celebration?
In the means of some festivals and all.
Yeah.
Sometimes we celebrate some festivals.
Yeah.
Some occasions.
Yeah.
It is says that it is a part of the ritual.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Celebration is nothing but a expression of our joy. Right? That is celebration. So if any ritual is bringing you joy, then they are connected. And the ritual will bring you a joy if you understand the significance of why it is done. Right? So therefore, actually a ritual done with the right understanding, with the right bhava, will naturally manifest into a celebration. And celebration is not necessarily what we see in the outer world. Today, celebrations are a big party, right? Food to eat and good dresses to wear. It's a way of showing that we are happy. But the real celebration, as I said, is inside of us. And that is that sadhana that we are doing, which is no longer dependent on external things to be done for experiencing that celebration inside of us.
That is occasional, it is a regular.
Yeah.
Rituals are regular and celebrations are occasional.
See, celebration should be an eternal thing. See, earlier people, they started to, when it started off and when we were in the time of Satya Yuga, there man was in eternal happiness. He did not have any of these rituals, he didn't have any of these celebrations. Because when you are in the process of an eternal celebration, you don't need occasions. All these rituals came in when man started to lose his connection with his higher consciousness. And then he said, let me find ways of becoming happy. Let me find ways of celebrating, because when I'll eat good food, when I will do, I will propitiate God, I will eat good food, I will wear good clothes, I will feel happy. See, now we are trying to discover happiness by doing external things. But when you find the fountain of happiness inside of you, then where is this question of observing any external rituals or wanting to celebrate? That's it. To me, it's all here. It's inside. All answers, all joy, all celebration, everything is inside. And that sadhana, if you start to taste this tiny little bit of this juice of nectar, it will propel you further in this journey. And this journey has to become adventurous, exciting, and you have to look forward to it.
How the celebrations are making far away from the God. Ramanavami, Dasara, then the Christmas, Eid. They are connecting more to us now. How will we be far away from God by celebrating the festivals?
I did not say that.
Sir told you.
No, that's not what he said. We are saying that anything that gives you this joy, we are saying these are external, outward celebrations. We are saying that if you find this internal celebration inside, then every day becomes joyous. Every day is Ram Navami. Every day is Dasara. Every day is Christmas. That's all. Why should we wait once a year to celebrate? We should be celebrating every day. They decide, no questions.
During the process of sadhana, the detachment, what you meant from a relationship of our family, is it necessary or
Can you explain that a little better?
detachment from
What is
detachment in sense not participating in many of the family activities or something? Is it required or
See, we must understand again, every word is a missile.
detachment?
If we do not understand it, it can harm us, and if we understand it, it can help us. So it's like a double edged sword. Detachment does not mean leaving everything and running into a forest and saying,
No,
oh,
you left your wealth, your
yeah, because you asked me, right? But I still have something and I still am able to enjoy. Listen to me, I'm telling you something. Detachment means not being attached. And not being attached does not mean that you will not do your responsibilities and duties. We actually have come to perform our duties to the best of our abilities, but without getting into a moha or an attachment. Right? How do we learn to do our work as an offering to our higher consciousness or God or Swami, as you would like to put it, without getting attached to it? That is the art that we learn when we go within. You will get these clarities. Initially, we have this, delusion that detachment means running away. It is not like that. I was not running away. My master said, do this. I said, I do it. Because remember, you have to believe in your master. And I still have my family, I have my son, my daughter, I have to perform all my responsibilities for them. And if they get to know I'm detached from them, they will not even talk to me. Right? They have to feel that I am the most loving father in this universe. So I am able to perform this role as skillfully of being a very loving father and mother, because I'm a father and mother combined. And they say that we couldn't have asked for a better combination. And yet, the minute I'm away from them, I'm absolutely detached. I see it as a role that I have to play. And as God says, play all your roles perfectly, so perfectly that they do not get to know you're playing a role. It's like Swami, there was a drama was being performed in Puttaparthi, and Swami was young in school. And this dancer was not there. She fell ill. And the district collector and everybody was coming. So they asked Swami to perform the role of the dancer, and he dressed up like a yeah, and he performed, and they said, oh, we want to meet this dancer. She was so good. So what is it? And where am I remembering all these from? It comes because it's supplying me all this. This is one consciousness. Everything is an act. Right now also is an act. I'm fully attached with all of you, but I'm absolutely detached. Right? That's how we operate. And I'm just a demonstration in front of you. You will start understanding the meaning of all this when you start to get your own experiences. Prataksha Praman. Our Vedas never forced anything on people. It said, try it, practice it. If you like it, use it. If you don't like it, discard it. Right? So I'm just telling you, try it. Make it constant. And the result of it will bring everything else. the detachment, the discrimination, and all that you want to do will happen by itself. But follow this path with absolute discipline and dedication, which is the meaning of sadhana. Any other question?
How we will get to know that we are attached?
Hmm?
How we will get to know that we are attached?
Very good question. We will get to know. Now you are asking how will we get to know, right? We will get to know. If we are attached, there are two things that come. There are two emotions that will come into us, or maybe more. One is we will feel either extremely happy or we'll feel extremely sad. Hmm? Or sadness comes when there is some pain, happiness comes when there is some joy, right? And that will come when we are attached, right? Because as Shankaracharya ji says, satsangatve nissangatvam nissangatve nirmohatvam nirmohatve nischal tatve jivan mukti. So before jivan mukti happens, we come to a stage of nischal tattvam. What is nischal tattvam? When we are equanimous, when neither the joys of the world nor the suffering of the world, they come and impact you. And before nischal tattve, nirmohatve, moha. Moha, attachment will bring you all these ups and downs, highs and lows. The day you are not able to, anybody comes and pricks you, or anybody says something to you, the day you say, like this, Sairam, that is when you are not getting affected. Then you are detached. Yeah? Understood? We have 2 minutes more. Anybody else? One last question.
What is the role of food in
ਹਾਂਜੀ.
sadhana?
What is the role of food in sadhana? Brilliant question. This was, in fact, I must say, this was one of the last things that I had to fix for myself. I was a lover of food and Punjabi, right? North Indian masalas. And I still remember that in Gulbarga, when I was there, in twice in his talks, he told me, "Hey, professor," he used to call me professor. Professor, I want you to teach all my students how to cook food. Right? And then he would say, "Hey, but learn how to cook yourself." And I thought, why is he going on saying I should cook food? Because, when my wife passed away, I had to learn how to cook because she used to cook food and my children were missing her and they were missing the food. And so I had to learn how to cook food. And I thought I could make pretty good food because my children said, "Dad, you're cooking like mom used to cook." So I thought I was a good cook. And he said, "First learn how to cook." So then it took me time, I must tell you, to understand what he was trying to say. He was trying to tell me, please make your own food and eat it. Now, if some of you who know me, I do not eat food even in the canteen or anywhere. I make my own food and I cook and I eat because food is so important in sadhana. If you eat spicy food, if you eat too much quantity of food, and if you eat the rajasic foods, it creates in you tamasic and rajasic tendencies. Tamasic means you get lazy. You eat heavy foods, you get lazy, you will not want to do anything, forget sadhana, right? And if you still have attachment towards food, then that attachment is also a moha which is coming in the way. So, as an example of that, when I'm with my children and I meet at least my daughter once a month, and I have to take her out for a meal. That's a ritual that we go to a restaurant and we have a meal. And recently it was my son's 25th birthday, and the three of us went to a big hotel. And while they were ordering food, you know what I ordered? I ordered khichdi. Because 6 days a week I eat khichdi. And my daughter was saying, Dad, you are impossible. How can you come to a five-star hotel and eat a khichdi? I said, this is finally I've understood that if I'm paying money does not mean I should get troubled. I should eat only that which agrees with me. I cannot eat now. The minute I eat anything which is slightly heavy or spicy, my body reacts instantly. I feel ill for a day, I am ill. Why? Because once you are experiencing this one consciousness, you are in a highly advanced state of sattvic. All your thoughts are sattvic. It is, your thoughts are also like a food. It's coming inside of you. If you put anything inconsistent in your system which is not aligned with your state of consciousness, then it will react with you. Yeah? So which means that you will have to find out what food agrees with you, and slowly as this transformation takes place, you start getting detached from food because you're forced to get detached from food. I was forced. I told you I didn't want to leave this paneer makhni and dal, shahi dal and all that. But I couldn't digest it any longer.
Sir, if the mind is above all, can we eat non-veg?
Sorry?
If the mind is above all, can control the mind, can we eat the non-veg?
I can't say that because I have not tried it.
Because I am asking, the Shri Baba gave it like that. Even when I go through Ramayana, even Rama also once used to speak fish. And Jesus Christ, he distributed this type of food to the disciples and people. Even your bishop food is his disciple. So and even Buddha at the last time he ate pork and other things, at the post for his death. So whenever going through these all things, the confusion is coming. That is why.
No, I understand, sir. I am just trying to say that I have not reached that point where I had to do it. Okay? Again, I would just urge all of you. These kind of questions are nothing but delusions where Maya pulls us out. Keep all these questions are not important in our sadhana. Whenever a question comes to your mind, please ask, is this going to help me in my internal? My sadhana is personal. No, please listen. These questions are never help us in our journey. And when such questions come, you should have the discrimination to put these questions aside and say, let me first experience this. And I assure you, I have the answer to your question, but I am not answering because it is theoretical. I want you to experience it. This path of sadhana is an experiential path. And the experience itself tells you everything. I want you to be a little patient. Don't believe in the answers I am giving you at this point of time. I am only inviting you to start having your direct experience, where you will never have to listen to anybody outside, and the inner guru in you will answer every question, every doubt that you ever have. Okay? Try this. For some time, you may have 100 questions. Keep them aside. Lock them in a vault. And open this vault only once you've experienced this connection with the inner guru, or the Guru Deva as we call it. And then I can assure you, you may not ever want to open that vault again, because you will realize all these questions were of no use. So with that, I want to thank all